Yep.
Good afternoon. You are seeing devastation in Puerto Rico. That is the fault of the hurricane. The relief effort is under control. It is proceeding very well, considering the devastation that took place.
Hi, I'd like to amplify what the Secretary said, and of course remind the American people that President Trump stands with Puerto Rico and the Puerto Rican people who are working so hard to get through this devastating hurricane recovery and relief effort. I understand the coverage in some cases is giving the appearance that we're not moving fast enough. I think that there's kind of two responses I'd have to that. First, there's an understandable degree of devastation on the island, and for anybody that needs food and water, power, life-saving needs and commodities, health care, there's nothing that can happen fast enough. But what I will tell you is that we are mobilizing and marshaling the resources of the United States of America in a way that is absolutely professional, fast, and adequate to meet the needs. Now what we have to do is marshal those resources in a way that distributes them through the island.
Thank you. Just one comment on what Tom just said about volunteers.
A lot of the reporting is understandably not wrong, but dated. For instance, I saw today that only 11 hospitals were assessed and opened. That was probably accurate, but just wrong at the time it was reported. We've assessed most of the hospitals at this point on the territory on the island. There are 69 hospitals total. 47 have been assessed by the Department of Defense and the Department of Health and Human Services. 44 of those hospitals are operational.
According to the gentleman I spoke with, he believes we're within 48 to 72 hours away from an apocalyptic event.
Distribution from the island, the central ports, to the endpoints like the hospitals has been a challenge. Having 24 to 48 hours, we will have replenished. We have over 200 gas stations open now so that people with generators can do that. We have reached the hospitals, so that is replenishing now.
Why not waive that requirement for these folks trying to get out who are already struggling?
I am not aware of that requirement.
It's a discretionary policy that's been put in place for these evacuees?
I am not aware of that requirement, so we will look into that. I'm not aware of that.
The President and I have absolute 100% confidence in what Secretary Duke, Brock Long, and the men and women in Puerto Rico are doing. They're going to get through this. I understand your questions, but they're going to come out bigger, better, and stronger than ever. And when we rebuild it, it's going to be built to a better standard to withstand this in the future. It's going to be managed as better than ever. I understand you have a lot more questions. We're going to entertain them off air, but right now, the Secretary and I have to go back in, continue to manage this response, and thank you so much for your time.
Update us on the President's trip. Could you update us on the President's trip?
We expect the President of the United States will visit Puerto Rico very shortly, and we'll give you some details.
Still on Tuesday?
If the logistics permit, yes, ma'am.
It said it was a gut check.